we are getting almost 300 FPS while playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. Hey guys, it's ApTreX here, and some dreams do come true because on my desk we have the IQOO 12 with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which we'll be unboxing in just a moment. But before that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who watches my videos and are subscribed to my channel for making this possible. Because recently I made a poll on my channel asking you which Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 device should I purchase for some amazing emulation tests, and majority of you guys voted for this phone. I just got its delivery, so I'm super excited, and now we'll begin with the unboxing. By the way, comment down below if I should test out GTA 5 through Mobox Emulator on this Android device. That's what I'm most excited for. If this video reaches 200 likes, then I'll upload it as soon as possible. And that was a very satisfying peel off. Anyways, here's the moment of truth. I have opened the box. For some reason it was very hard to open, but there we go, we have our device. Fun fact, my childhood dream was to become a tech YouTuber and unbox all the latest mobiles. That's why I am so happy while unboxing this device on camera for you guys. Though my first impressions will be that this phone is lightweight compared to the other flagship phones that I have used. For example, OnePlus 11, it just feels very different. I don't know how to put this, guys, but compared to Xiaomi 11T Pro, iPhone or whatever Android device, for some reason this phone feels very different in terms of in-hand feel. If you ever get a chance to use this phone in person, then you should go for it, and you can comment down below if you have one. Anyways, inside the box we should also get an BMW M Sport poster. This is one of my dream cars, by the way. I can't afford it, unfortunately, at least in my lifetime from the way things are going, but I'll work my hardest to at least drive it one day and film that video too. So obviously you have to hit that subscribe button. Well, apart from the weird heart-shaped SIM ejector tool, we also get an silicone case, which I don't prefer because it turns yellow pretty quickly. So yeah, throw away all those silicone cases if you have any. Another great part about purchasing these IQOO devices is that they also come with an adapter. This especially is an 120 watt adapter, which is also compatible with iPhones for fast charging, which is very surprising. I tested it out on my iPhone 15 Pro Max and the fast charging speed was mind blowing. I am too poor to even purchase an Apple specific fast charger, so I didn't have any. When I used this Vivo adapter, my mind was blown away. So yeah, this device is really worth it, especially due to its charger. Anyways, I'll set it up quickly and I'll be back to test out Nintendo Switch emulation on this Android device. Alright guys, now that I have finished setting up my device, I have set up Yuzu Emulator as well as Skyline Enhanced Infinity Emulator, which in my previous video gave me amazing performance results. We were literally getting 250 plus FPS while emulating Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on my OnePlus 11. Well, this is going to be an entirely different story because if you guys know, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 performs almost 40% better in terms of emulation than Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So I am super hyped. Let's start with the settings for Skyline Enhanced Infinity. It is the regular setting as usual. I'll be using the GPU driver configuration, and this is the most important step because I have noticed that if you don't use the latest Mesa Turnip Adreno driver, then you will only get about 30% to 40% of the performance that you would get if you use an driver. So you can expect up to 2 times more performance if you use an graphics driver. So make sure to use this. Don't skip this part as it is very important. Anyways, other settings are as follows for the Skyline Infinity Emulator. With that being said, what are we waiting for? Let's start with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu test, and immediately at the top left corner we should be able to see some results. And just take a look at this, man. Oh my god, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I am literally getting almost 600 FPS 600 FPS in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Alright, there we go. During the title screen we are getting about 160 FPS, which is 50 more oh, what is this? 700 FPS. Alright, our game has successfully started, and at the top left corner you guys will be able to see that we are getting almost 300 FPS while playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. And this is the reality of Snapdragon processors. This is how much powerful Android devices are nowadays. So don't underestimate any Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 Android device. And to be honest guys, it's been a day since I unboxed the IQOO 12, and I have to say this phone is very amazing in terms of battery life, processor, and how fast it actually is. Compared to my OnePlus 11, this feels like an entire different generation of phone. Even though it's not, it's just an 1-year upgrade. Even after exiting the house, we are getting anywhere from 120 to 140 FPS, which is almost 3 times than the considered playable frame rate. And just take a look at these cutscenes. It's so amazing. 120 FPS Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu emulation on Android. So usually on IQOO devices you get frame interpolation or something like that, which means that you can literally see the 120 FPS which you are getting, whereas on any other device that's not possible. Anyways, at the top left corner during the Pokemon catching scenarios, you can see we are getting almost 150 to 200 FPS. Like, this is such a crazy amount of number. Just 4 years ago, I guess in 2020 when again Emulator came out, I remember trying Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I was getting about 12 to 15 FPS on my IQOO 7 Legend at that time in 2021 I guess. But now just take a look at this, bro. Just 3 to 4 years later, this is the level of improvement in terms of performance. But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is relatively low end, so why not we hop into the Yuzu Emulator Android to test out some big titles like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's just go ahead and open this game. I have already added and save file, so we should be good to go pretty soon. At the top left corner you will be able to see that we are using the NC build number 214 of Yuzu Emulator Android, and there we go. Alright, the game has started. At the top left corner you will be able to see that even in huge titles like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, we are getting more than 60 FPS, 75 to 80 FPS while emulating this game. Oh my god, man, like seriously guys, this is crazy amount of frame rates which we are getting. 30 FPS should be more than playable, but this is truly a game changer. There are some graphical issues and I have downscaled the game by a little bit. We are using 0.75x resolution. Also docked mode has been disabled. So let's just go ahead and go to per game setting option. Make sure to enable dock mode to see if it decreases our FPS or not. And no, there isn't any major difference. We are still getting more than 70 FPS. Now I can feel my device getting bit warm, but it is to be expected. We are literally emulating a Nintendo Switch title on our Android devices. Anyways, comment down below if I should test out GTA 5 through Mobox Emulator Android on my IQOO 12. Let's do that once this video reaches 200 likes. This is a completely mind-blowing experience if I must say, and now my device is really getting warmed up because of this Nintendo Switch emulation. Anyways, it's a bit overkill. You can indeed limit your speed percentage if you want to counteract this heating issue. It's pretty simple. All you do is open settings, set the limit speed percentage as 100% or 200%, and you should not get more than 30 FPS, which means that your device won't be used at its full potential, saving the performance as well as battery, and also fix any kind of heating issue. Anyways, that was Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's just go ahead and exit emulation, and now we shall try one of my favorite games, which is Pokemon Sword. Alright, there we go guys, Pokemon Sword has successfully started. Previously there was used to be a blurry cutscene issue in Yuzu Emulator Android. It seems that the issue has been now fixed, so Pokemon Sword should also be completely playable on Yuzu Emulator Android with no graphical issues whatsoever. There we go guys, the cutscene is over, and now we are getting around 90 FPS in Yuzu Emulator Android, and this is still crazy amount of FPS because Skyline in general is more FPS oriented, whereas Yuzu gives you playable performance as well as stability. Though I am pretty curious to see how much FPS do we get once we exit the house, then we'll compare it with Skyline Enhanced Infinity Emulator's FPS bar, and yeah, this is again very smooth experience. Let's not waste any more time. Open Skyline Enhanced Infinity Emulator, and as you just saw, RAM management is also pretty good. I always tell you guys that if you have an low-end Android device, always prefer Skyline Emulator instead of Yuzu, because in Skyline you will get the best amount of frame rate possible as well as 1x graphics Nintendo Switch emulation on Android. Unlike Yuzu, where we have to decrease our graphics resolution to get playable results, Skyline can easily provide that to you at 1x graphics resolution and even support for Mali GPU Android devices. So let me know in the comment section down below, will you guys be interested or willing to buy an Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 Android device? This is also the cheapest 8 Gen 3 Android device for now, at least in India. I was going for OnePlus 12, but then I thought I already have OnePlus 11, so why not try out something new? Also, I had previously used IQOO 7 Legend as my daily driver for like 1.5 years. So I was missing IQOO phones. I saw the IQOO 12 and said let's save some money and get this phone instead. But there we go, we are getting almost 50 to 60 FPS in Pokemon Sword. But it will eventually go all the way up to 100 FPS in some scenarios, because once the shader generation and compilation is completed, you will eventually get more FPS than what you see right here. Anyways, the game unfortunately forced off, which is the bug of Skyline Emulator. Alright guys, for our final test today, we'll be trying out Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I have already imported an save file, and I am expecting anywhere from 50 to 100 FPS while emulating this game. Though it will be very stable as we'll be using Yuzu Emulator Android instead of Skyline, because in Skyline there are some crashing issues and black screen issues which we don't really want to face. But there we go. After seeing crazy amount of FPS, I'm a bit disappointed to say that we are only getting around 30 to 50 FPS while emulating this game on Yuzu Android. I'm pretty sure that if we try it out on Skyline, I will get anywhere from 60 to 100 FPS. But this even is very playable experience. I'm pretty sure that if you try emulating this game on any other Android device on Yuzu, obviously you won't get this amount of FPS. However, you can expect around 8 to 10 FPS even on Snapdragon 680 processor or above. So yeah, that was all about Nintendo Switch emulation test on Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 Android device. And I would like to thank you guys again for helping me reach this goal, for watching my videos, liking them and sharing them, or even commenting on them. It really means a lot to me, and because of you guys I can buy such devices to film some amazing videos. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.